Hi guys, welcome back to Kit Car Direct and MK Sportscars. Saturday, sun's gone away. It has been raining all day, and we had a car collected this morning. You remember the orange Busa Indy RR? It's gone over to France. It was tipping it down when it got collected, and we got a cover, thankfully. Maybe some shots will go up of that being collected. So Genesis guys, really top class guys, and I'm sure they'll have a bundle of fun out in France on the track. That's where it's going to be tearing up the track out there. So hopefully they've arrived back safely over there. And you've seen the build videos this week. Neil shoved up a video, sort of progress of the whole build, which was really cool. You can see it from start to finish. Done it on the Booster Turbo one as well. You can see the start to finish. CBR one, we'll talk about that. But just coming back to the Booster Turbo, numbers on that one. And I know everybody's really interested. You may have seen that. So went to Richard RLM, reached out to our partners there. Phil took it up to them. It actually made 400 at the wheels horsepower, which is, let's be honest, mental. Crazy, double what these do. You're talking about nearly 800 brake horsepower per tonne. We had that on the scales, it was just over, shade over 500 kilos. But it was dialed back down. The top map is 360 at the wheels, and he's got two other maps in there. He's got 285 at the wheels. I think it's 315 at the wheels as well. Which, let's be honest, program it at 285 and let it eat all day. I think that'll be the number. It's more than enough power. So yeah, that's kind of the numbers that are on the Booster Turbo. Nice little build. I'm sure Phil will be out tearing out. That's going to be next year now. It's pretty damp and miserable out there, so we're not going to be tearing up the track too much. But yeah, so onto the CBR. This we had on the scales. Now I'm not going to tell you the number. We'll put it out on socials, and you can have a guess. But I'll talk you through the particulars first. So it's an RR round tube chassis, fully rose jointed, CXRs all round, wheelwoods on the front, but standard brakes on the rear. Standard Sierra brakes on the rear, and it has got Labro Sierra axle. So it's not the pushing shaft, it's the Labro with the extra bolts as well. It's got a cage on it that was custom made. It's a bit heavier than our normal one, a little bit more. But LED headlights, and it has got a boot box in it, and it has got seats with seat runners and seat pads, and full YVA specs. It's still got all the reverse motor in and all of that kind of gear as well that's in it. So it's probably, you know, pretty much there as it would be for IVA. We've removed the fog light and reverse light he wanted on because it's going to be living its time on the track anyway. So the reverse motor will come out at some point. I think the customer might want to pull it out, but he's going to do some road driving first, get used to the car before he starts tearing it up on the track. Ben's going to be seeing this. It's all done now, all running, etc. We've done the final corner weights this morning on it, and I'll let you guess the number. That's what we'll do. Leave it to you guys to have a guess, see where you think. It starts with a... No, I'm not going to tell you. Not going to tell you. Let's move on. Right, Dax Rush, we've been on with again this week. We've solved the electrical gremlins that were in this. We had no reverse lights, no indicators, had side lights and a few other bits and bobs, and all the wiring was in there, just that someone forgot to basically live up the fuse circuit. All the runners were running in, it looked fantastic, and it all looked right, it should be, but we had to tear all the wiring out and get to it and trace it all back. It went from... This is the problem with wiring. It went from a yellow wire to a purple wire to a green wire, then on to something else. But we found the circuit. We got everything else is working now on the back. So all the interior's gone back in. The seats, the seat harnesses, all of that, all the gauges. That's all back in now. So they're the standard Dax seats, and then we're on with sorting out this last bit of mess here with this switch system, which is going to sit under here. This is the last bit here that we've got to just sort out. It is running. It's running a bit rough. We've just got to sort out the idling. This was fabricated by somebody else out there, and it was held on with cable ties here, which is a bit naff. So we TIG welded on these brackets here to hold and support the airbox that's been made, because, you know, we don't do cable ties. That's not what we do. So everything else is done. We've just got a few little bits and bobs to button up on it now. The boot box is in now for the final time. That's gone in. Although it's not the right colour, that'll probably get changed at some point. The boot box is in, but all the lights are working on the back. So that's pretty trick. As we said before, so you can't really see this green, but it's like lambert green. It's metallic green. It really does pop. It's really sparkly in the sun. So yeah, that'll be on. Hopefully we can get this back to the customer as soon as possible, really. So that's sort of next jobs. But yeah, let's head on over there to the build area. Right, over in the build area, as you know, last week, Mazda cars we started on, the two of them. Left-hand drive, right-hand drive, etc. Engine and gearbox, as you know, went in last week. Front end's on. We've done the front uprights. Brake discs are on this week as well. They're on both sides. Suspension's on. The rear diffs in here, and the fuel pump bracket. We've got the rear uprights, all new bushing pressed into these as well. Obviously new suspension, all Protex all round as well. That's all gone in this week. Prop shafts in as well. Just the final button up to do on that. Steering column we've put in temporarily. That's a mock-up what we've done at the moment, just to temporarily put that in. We're going to be fabricating a custom exhaust for this rather than their standard one, because it's left-hand drive. It's got to have an exhaust system that's different, because normally down in here, just there, is where the system normally sits. So right where the master cylinders are. So it's going to have a custom manifold made. That's why we've mocked that into there for now, so it'll get made shortly as well. So looking good, ticking along quite nicely. We're doing some refurbishment, some other bits and bobs that need to go in on this car. And then we'll start on with, well, it's all new alternators and everything else that we've put onto this as well. So she's all ticking all the boxes as well, and we'll crack on with that. So Richard's car, we've been on with this as well, trying to get as much done where we can. Front suspension is now on, front rockers, steering rack, see 2.4 quick rack on here as well. Just got the rack extensions once we do the finish with the uprights and everything else. And then we've been on with detailing some uprights, the engine's been detailed, and then rocker covers. It's going to be yellow, this car as well. So we've done some yellow detailing rocker cover, and that's a bulkhead panel as well. And then the rear arms are in on this one, top and bottom with the suspension, and then marking on with the loom. So this is the new looms. Brand new looms that are made up. It looks like spaghetti, but it's nowhere near as bad as you think once it's laid out into the vehicle, because you've got obviously all your relays, your fuse boxes in here. Nice, everything's tucked away and tidy into there. And then a couple of people have been asking about tunnel tops. Well, here we go. How they fit, etc. That's roughly in position. That's the RX-5 GRP tunnel top. From standard, where we used to do it, where we had the alley trim, we tried to move away from that to a one-piece tunnel top. That looks a bit cleaner and a bit tidier once it's fitted in there as well. Obviously we don't do them in carbon though, guys, just fiberglass, I'm afraid, at the moment. That may change in the future, but at the moment, and certainly for the foreseeable, at the moment, it's only going to be done in fiberglass for now.
So why do we do this, not the capping?
Well, it's much easier for access as well. For number one reason is it just, it's a smoother finish, and then you have to worry about IVA edges that are on here, and then you can 2 securing screws, and this will then come off. And if you need to get access for checking your prop bolts and everything else that's in the centre tunnel here, that all works way better for that. It's just a much cleaner look once the handbrake's in as well. I mean, if you look at the standard, what we used to do, I suppose we'll head on over here. This was a sort of inherited way of doing it, which was the alley trim and the tunnel top. It kind of doesn't work as well. It's sufficient. What it does is perfect, but we try, like everything, we just try to evolve and bring a new product to you. The bike engine ones, which you saw in there, they're the one-piece tunnel tops. We do them in carbon, but this is at the moment still going to be in fiberglass. Right, R1 time. It's the MC, RX-5 MC R1. A few bits been done on this. New parts is like the laser cut ECU holder, sits into the corner here, fixed in. This will line nicely there and hold your ECU secure there, and that's got to be secured in. Radiator is temporarily fixed in. What we've done now, we've started all the measured up all today. Actually, we've done that. All the plumbing lines, it's going to be these, so they'll be off-the-shelf products now that we'll be able to supply in kit form for the R1 RX-5 MC. So we've got the looms all sorted, which we showed you the other week. All the looms, which is the same as like in the Mazda one we've done with all the switch gear and everything else. These custom looms that are made. Yeah, pipework kits for the R1 engine. So it's the 5VY engine, not the the later 2007. This is 2004, 2006 sort of era. Nice revvy engine. 14,000 stupid RPM, crazy, ballistic, etc. They don't have the torque, but they're a nice revvy engine, and it's the same as what's on this end here. We would talk about. Been on with this. Prop shafts come out because we had a problem with the prop shaft, which we spoke about last week. So that's gone off to our supplier to try and get that remedied. The rubber bushing had actually just completely perished, so a little bit unsafe as well. That is. You don't want to have rattling around your fuel pipes, your brake lines in the centre there, or even your legs or your knees. So we've been on with a lot of wiring, and it looks a mess. Now, unfortunately, the wiring in this car, as we said the other week, you know, a bit of household stuff that's been used in here. So we've been trying to figure out everything that's going on. But what we have managed to sort out once we've done it, power this up. We spoke about this freewheel. We've shown this device before, where you've got everything from your indicators is on here. It says all Bluetooth across. Press and hold, right one, left one, or press them together. There's your hazard lights. Just a very simple device that touches your steering wheel. And then we've got.
Just want to show the lights.
Yeah. There we go. Let's plug that on. There we go. So indicators are working. Pressing off and on. Horn is the red button. We can label them up, of course, as well. They're all labelled. But and then we've got flash on there as well. So all on that device that will fit onto your steering wheel. Really trick. And obviously we're wiring up at the moment, but we're including this into the DD2 because it's a new dash. You had the standard clocks before, but that's all sort of working now as well. That's been fully wired in. Just a few bits to button up and tidy up, and then we'll start trying to. What unfortunately is a bit of a bird's nest, and we'll try and make the best of this bird's nest that's under here for him, get it tidied up away a little bit more. So yeah, it took a bit of figuring out when you've got people that have maybe over the years it's come through a couple of hands, this car, and then people have changed and messed about the wiring, but we figured it out, and that's the control box for it there, all plumbed in. Yeah, really trick. And I suppose if you're driving, you want to get your hands free. It's no different. People who like the push button gear change, it's the same thing. Hands don't have to come off the wheel for your indicators, your horn, flashing, high beam, etc. Really nice, quality bit of kit. And if you've got a quick release steering wheel, comes with you, even better. So yeah, that's what we want with the cars this week with the builds. Kits are still being produced. We don't really show much about them, but there's chassis being produced all the time. We've got some other projects that we're got in the pipeline. We'll let that out another day. But yeah, that's it, guys, for this week. Enjoy. It's October. It's crazy. Where did September go? I don't know. But we'll carry on with each week. And if you've got any questions, you can find us on Facebook, Messenger, email, etc. Parts-wise, we're still pretty good, but lead times on kits are like about 12 weeks at the moment. So just so you're at. That's it for this week, guys. So like, share, you know where you are. Catch you next week.